Riba is not just extra. It's an addition that's taken without going through a legitimate business process. Meaning, it's not from trade, not from shared risk, not from a healthy economic activity. So, not every profit is riba. Let's start with the simplest example. Imagine you have a business idea. You approach a friend and say, "Hey, let's go in together." You put in 50% of the capital, they put in 50%. You agree. Profit is shared, loss is also shared. So here's the question. Is that riba? No, that's business. That's what Islam calls profit sharing. Both sides take risk, both sides earn reward. And if you think about it, that's fair, right?
Now, let's shift slightly. Let's say you want to buy a house, but you don't have the cash. Then someone, or let's call him Mr. Kufi, says, "Okay, I'll buy the house for 500,000. Then I'll sell it to you for 600,000, and you can pay in installments." Now this is where people start getting confused. Wait, that's still more expensive. Isn't that basically the same as interest? At first glance, it does feel similar. But if you look deeper, this is not a loan, this is a sale. From the beginning, everything is clear. What the item is, what the purchase price is, what the selling price is, how the payment works. And most importantly, the profit is fixed up front as a sale price, not something that grows over time like interest. And one crucial detail, the house must actually belong to Mr. Kufi first before he sells it to you. Because if someone sells something they don't own, that's a completely different issue. We can talk about that another time, but for now, focus on the flow. Mr. Kufi buys the house, it becomes his, then he sells it to you with a profit. You pay in installments. And by the way, if you're into conversations like this, where we break things down in a real, honest way, feel free to subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. May Allah bless every step we take.
Now, let's move into the most sensitive topic, debt. This is where people often slip. Let's say I lend you $10,000. Then I say, just pay me back $11,000. It's only $1,000 extra. It seems small, right? You might even agree willingly. But in Islam, this is riba. Why? Because there's no real transaction, no goods involved, no shared risk, and no effort. What's happening is simple. I'm taking advantage of your need. We often think, as long as both sides agree, it's fine. But in Islam, not every agreement is automatically right. There are boundaries. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where you really needed money? Maybe for your family, or just to survive, or maybe to save a struggling business? In that moment, if someone says, "I'll help you, but you have to pay me extra," is that help or is that pressure?
This is where Islam takes a very unique position. It says, if it's a loan, you don't take profit from it. Why? Because a loan is not business. A loan is social support. And this part feels incredibly human to me. Imagine this. You lend someone $10,000. As long as they haven't paid you back, every single day, it's as if you're giving charity of $10,000. Every day, not once. Think about that. 30 days? That's like giving $300,000 in charity when you only lent $10,000. And if they still can't pay and you give them more time, the reward continues. This system isn't just about money. It's about how you see people. Now, let's address a very honest question. If riba is a sin, where exactly is the harm? Because compared to other sins, murder, fraud, and abuse, they are clearly harmful. But riba? It looks like both sides benefit.
In Islam, a sin isn't always about visible harm. Sometimes it's about violating a divine boundary. Take alcohol as an example. Even if someone drinks and doesn't cause problems, it's still prohibited. Why? Because there's a clear rule. Same with riba. It's not just about immediate impact. It's about the kind of society it creates. Think about this. If every act of help requires a return, when can people truly be helped? If every hardship becomes a business opportunity, where does empathy go? Imagine a world like this. Someone is hungry. You feed them, but charge them later. Someone needs money. You lend it, but demand extra. Someone is struggling, and it becomes your profit opportunity. Is that a healthy world? This is where Islam says, stop. There are areas of life that must remain pure from exploitation, and loans are one of them.
Now let's get into real-life situations. Banks, mortgages, savings, the everyday stuff. Simple question. Are all banks riba? The answer is not that simple. In conventional banking, the structure is usually the bank gives you money, you pay back more over time. That additional amount grows with time. This is what's considered riba. Islamic banking has a different structure. Not a loan, but trade or partnership. Example 1. The bank buys the house, then sells it to you. Instead of giving you money, they buy the asset first, then sell it to you at a higher fixed price. So ask yourself, are they lending money or selling something? If you're honest, it's a sale, and that's the key difference. They profit from an asset they own, not from money itself. Because in Islam, money is not supposed to grow on its own. There has to be real activity, real value, real risk. Which brings us to something important, risk. In that scenario, before the house is sold to you, who carries the risk? The bank. If something happens, damage, price drop, deal cancellation, they bear it.
Compare that to a loan. The bank gives money. Done. All risk is on you. Now you start to see the difference. One model, profit without risk. The other, profit with risk. Now the second model, investment and profit sharing. Imagine you have a business idea. You have skills. You have a plan. You have a market. But you lack capital. You go to an Islamic bank. Instead of saying, we'll lend you money, they say, we'll invest with you. Now they become a partner. You agree, profits are shared, losses are shared. For example, you manage the business, they provide capital. Profit split, 60% you, 40% them. Now here's the key question. If your business struggles, do you still owe fixed payments? No. Because they're not collecting interest, they're sharing the outcome. And honestly, that feels more human. Because real life isn't always up. Sometimes business is slow, sometimes it fails, and this system acknowledges that. Which one feels more fair? And this is really the core of it. Not just halal versus haram, but how we structure human relationships. Do we want a world where people profit from others' struggles? Or a world where people grow together?
Now, let me be honest. Islamic systems aren't always perfectly implemented. They're still run by humans. There are flaws. There are gaps. But the concept, that's what matters. That in Islam, money is not just a tool to get rich, it's a tool to maintain justice. So maybe the real question isn't, is this just different terminology? But is this a different way of seeing the world? Because when your perspective changes, your decisions start to change too. Now, let me say something real. A lot of people say, it's just semantics, and that's a fair question. But language isn't just words. Language shapes intention, structure, and consequences. I like you, I hate you, just words. But the impact? Completely different. Same with contracts. Different structure, different ruling, different responsibility. Now, let's enter a gray area. Savings, deposits. Saving money is generally fine. You're just storing it. If the bank gives interest and you don't take it, that's different. But fixed return deposits? That's where it gets tricky. Because from the start, your money is used. A fixed return is promised. And when returns are guaranteed up front, that's where issues begin. Let me ask you, which is more fair? You get a fixed $10,000 every month, or you get a percentage of real profit? The first looks safe, but can be unfair. The second is flexible and more just. That's what Islamic finance emphasizes. Not just profit, but fairness. Now let's face a tough reality. What about big business? Don't they need bank loans? This is a common argument. And honestly, I used to think the same. But then I realized sometimes we trap ourselves in our own thinking. We say it's impossible without banks. But is it really? Think about it. Who has the most money? Investors? Why not approach them directly? Why not build proposals? Why not create partnerships? Sometimes what we call necessity is just habit. We often justify things because everyone else is doing them. Everyone uses credit cards. Everyone takes mortgages. Everyone earns interest. But here's the real question. Does common mean correct